Hi guys. We'll see if anybody notices I'm on. This is kind of a surprise. I'm down in my sewing studio and I've got the camera set up on my long arm machine. And probably nobody knows that I'm on, so you might be watching this afterwards. I'm gonna switch the camera a little bit in a minute and have you look more at what I'm working on, but I'm here ripping out quilting from a quilt. It's the Labyrinth Walk quilt that you guys have seen me show online. It's the quilt I made for my husband at his request, and what happened was I had gotten it set up on my old mid-arm machine. This is the quilt that showed me very quickly that my mid-arm machine was not going to be enough for what I needed it to do, and that catalysted me into upgrading to the long arm, which I can't show you because the camera is actually mounted on my long arm machine right now. I will show you sometime in the future, but I say all the time that I don't rip out stitches, and generally that is really true. Hi Trish, I really don't rip out stitches, but as I'm sitting here ripping out stitches, I thought it would be a good time to come on and tell you guys that even those of us that have been doing this for a while or that have grown in our quilting rip out stitches from time to time. So there are definitely times that you need to be able to rip out stitches. It just is what it is. I have a line of quilting on here. I'm going to tilt the camera so you can see. I have a line of quilting on top here. This is my feather border that I've done all the way across the top, and that is staying in. But I had a line of quilting in this section here and the one to the far end that I had done on my mid-arm setup that I have since sold to upgrade to the long arm. And that quilting was not good. So what I mean by not good is that it was skipping stitches, it was knotting, it was breaking thread all the time. I was having to stop, restart, tie off threads constantly, and the quilt quality is not good. That being said, I am now ripping out just this gray part of quilting. This feather is something that was originally stitched on with black thread, and I didn't want to rip that out because that stitching was good, but I changed my mind in that I wanted it to be able to show my quilting, because this is for my husband after all, so he wants to see my quilting. So I went over it in this light gray thread, which is the thread that I'm using for the remainder of the quilt. But as I was sitting here ripping out, I remember that I tell you guys all the time that I don't rip out stitches, that done is better than perfect. But there is a time when ripping out stitches, including quilting, is appropriate. And this is one of those times. I do want the quilt quality, I always want my quilt quality to be very good. You guys should see the floor down here because I'm just throwing threads on the floor because I'll take a Swiffer afterwards to take it up. Hi Jess, how are you? I miss ya. But I always want my quilt quality to be good. So if this is going up to a customer, it would be the same thing. I want the quilt quality to be the best it can be. This is going to my husband, so I definitely want the quilt quality to be good. This quilt is pretty important to me, not only because it's going to him, but like I said, this quilt was the catalyst to help me upgrade to a long arm machine. So it's kind of important to me. But I am ripping out stitches. I wanted to show you guys, I do rip out stitches if I'm not happy with them. Does it take some time? Yeah. Does it take patience? Absolutely. But it's worth it in the end when you get the finished product and you give it to somebody and you're proud of it. I like to be proud of my work, so even when it's going to my husband, he's very supportive of everything, and He supported me through nursing school. He supported me through my bachelor's. He has supported me through job changes over the last couple years. And he's supporting me through doing this as a part-time business. So this takes a lot of my time, and he has his hobbies too. So it works out. But I just wanted to pop on and show you guys that yes, I do rip out stitches, and it's important for you to take pride in your work. That being said, when we start the next sew along, we are going to be learning free motion quilting. So I don't want you on that sew along project to be super critical about your quilting. You're just going to be learning, and we're going to be going through a lot of different things. And I'm going to teach you as much as I can, and you're going to practice before you do things on your quilt. So don't be nervous. We're going to go through it together. And I'm going to teach you, you know, if you want to rip out stitches, the best way to rip out your quilting. I say rip, but you really have to be kind of ginger about it. Although you would never know it by watching me right this second. Hold on, I got a knot. Can't talk and figure out the knot at the same time. We are all set to start our sew along on October 7th. I'm looking forward to it. I'm starting to cut kits today. I have enough in-house for 5 or 6 kits, and that's more than people that have asked me for kits. So we should be all set. If not, then I will just go fabric shopping, which is one of my favorite pastimes, I guess, now that I finished my bachelor's. Jess, are you still doing your bachelor's? You finished it, right? I know lots of nurses that have been going for their bachelor degrees. I was one of them. I'm so glad I'm done with that. Now that I'm not in school anymore, I have lots of time for stuff, so hence the quilting. But I will continue to do lives kind of sporadically as I see fit until we start on October 7th. October 7th, it'll be the same kind of deal. It'll be, I believe that's a Sunday, 7 o'clock. That's a really good time for me. And it seems to work for everybody else too, and those that can't watch live can always catch it because they could play it back. It'll be pinned to the top of the page. The newest videos will always be pinned at the top of the page, and it'll work the same as the last sew along, but it'll go longer and you'll learn more. So I just wanted to pop on. I'm just ripping out these stitches thinking about you guys and everybody that's supporting me through all of this. I thank you very much, and I'll keep teaching as long as you want to learn, and then we'll keep going together. I will be posting videos of this quilt as I machine quilt, so look for them coming up soon. And everybody have a good night. I hope you're enjoying your week. Bye-bye.